this holiday called Family Day, so he can like spend time with his so he can spend time with his children. And then Sasuke gets a whole episode with Sarada, and the whole episode he's trying to be cool for her, but but Sarada's like, "What are you doing?" and it's funnier too because Kakashi comes out. He's like, "Oh, Sasuke, you always had terrible social skills, and that's not going to help you with your daughter. But here, I have advice for you from my favorite book, Makeout Tactics."
Oh, damn.
So he uses the Makeout Tactics book to try to help Sasuke. It just makes it worse. And then and then when Sasuke and Kakashi hang at the bridge, Sasuke's like, "Hey Kakashi, can I see that book?" And Kakashi's like, "Oh, so you finally see the benefits of Makeout Tactics?" He's like, "No, I want to throw that book into the river. In fact, I'm going to throw you in there too."
That sounds so stupid, but you can't help but laugh at it, you know?
Yeah. It had a really adorable ending where at the end Sasuke just does what he did with Itachi when they were kids. Like he played shuriken games with Sarada, and she really enjoyed it. So yeah, and then he learned that his daughter wanted to be Hokage. He was like, "Yeah, as long as you're following Naruto's example, you'll be fine."
Mm-hmm.
So
the socials have been updated.
Nice.
Awesome.
And also, Sarda, I recommend, name changes aren't that uncommon, So, so, no offense to your family, but your family nearly eliminated all life on the world. Come on.
Do it for me. I don't want you or my grandchild to get bullied. So
yeah, I'm sure Sasuke will very much understand. Okay.
We'll see if the manga is any indication. She'll marry into the Uzumaki family. No more Uchiha. I'm just saying. We're keeping the Uzumaki family going. So.
Gotcha. But anyway,
is Austin coming, or is it just us?
It's gonna be us. Austin got called into work today. That's why we're gonna be moving. That's why we had to take out the Spider-Man topic for today.
Oh, okay.
Damn, we really need Austin for that because that's his book, like the Craven book.
Right. But okay. Introduce us.
Okay. Anyway, welcome to Comic Fanatic live stream audience. You're here with me, Cryptid Seeker 415, ready to give you a double dose of America today.
And this is Jake Tylenol, the one who currently watches Boruto. That's all I got. Witch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he, and I got so much gay manga to read.
No.
Since they want me to plug in the socials now, I guess I'll plug in the socials now.
Yeah, we're doing it at the beginning now.
Yep. Go ahead.
Doing it at the beginning. So you can subscribe to us and turn on notifications because they said so. 2, follow the Twitter at Comic Fanatic 6.9, and you can also follow it's not 6.9, it's 69. And then you can follow the Instagram at Comic Fanatic 2.0. If you just want to follow me and see all the random crap that I post, you can follow me on Twitter at Witch of Jotun, all one word with an E instead of a U. Then you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at witch_of_Jotunheim. And now, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
We can start.
Yay.
Okay.
I also plan on getting a new mic, so.
Gotcha. Alrighty then, let me start us off with the media news. The Marvel's budget revealed.
Mm-hmm.
This became really topical this week, surprisingly, because
I didn't see it.
Numbers were thrown all over the place. Some people reporting that this is the most expensive non-Avengers movie film the MCU is doing with a budget of $275 million. But I've been hearing word that they got a rebate of $50 million from the UK for filming there. So this brings the budget down to a reasonable $220 million.
Okay, so is this an issue or is this what's the problem?
No, I just found it weird. Why would this movie require that much if it really was the 275 million, you know?
Right, but they spent a lot of money on Secret Invasion, and I don't see where that money went. So, like,
Oh, all that money went into the final fight scene, you know?
oh, okay, so we're gonna assume the final fight scene is why they.
I guess, but honestly, with the final fight scene, dude, that ended up becoming the worst part about the whole Secret Invasion series. You know, like
Yes.
It was
really,
not that good.
it wasn't just that. It wasn't just that it was not that good. It was also the fact that it presented a dozen problems. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
So
Fantastic Four reference either. Like the fuck, that's the least you could have done.
yeah, and let's see. As for the Marvels, right? Let's see. You don't really have Mega's talent in this, you know? That's the thing. Um you have Brie Larson, okay.
She's an Oscar winner, remember that.
An Oscar winner, alrighty, but okay, you have two actresses, Miss Marvel and Monica, who aren't really A-listers, neither are the actresses playing them. So I just want to know, where would all this money be going? Like, even the villain of this series.
This movie's going to be set in space on many different planets, I'm assuming, and on Earth. I think I know where the budget's going to be going, unlike in Secret Invasion, where we didn't know where the budget was going. At least we know where the budget is going.
We better have damn good graphics, I gotta say. Damn good
From the
special
trailers
effects.
alone, it looks pretty good. So you're just being a hater.
Yeah, the trailers look decent. Like, nothing was like blowing your mind. It's just,
I think they're saving that for the actual movie itself. Plus, you're having talent from outside studio, like from outside companies and studios, because you have a Korean actor who's pretty good, by the way. You should go watch who's going to be in this movie. Assuming that he learned English for this role, which that's hard. Learning a new language for a role, shit.
Is he going to be playing an alien?
He's going to be playing a character named like Prince Han, I think, something similar to that. So, a lot of people said he was going to be Novar, and I was like, I don't think he's going to be Novar. I hate Novar too much to do this to my
man. Gotcha. But we'll all know if the money they invested into this movie is worth it by the time we watch the film. So, alrighty. Okay, that was a fast topic. So let's move on to the next.
Okay.
Jake, you do the honors on this one.
Jake's not here. I'll do it.
Oh, wait.
Hold Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I was gonna. I got. Listen, I got thrown into the Matrix. Okay. I was gonna add on. I was gonna say which way? Well, I do hear you about the space stuff. Guardians of the Galaxy, isn't that cheaper than this budget?
Yeah, it was around the 250 million mark.
Okay, as long as they're not spending more money than Guardians of the Galaxy, then it'll be fun.
Because I was looking at when I heard about the budget for this movie, right? I was looking at the list for the most expensive Marvel films. Of course, the most expensive ones are the Avengers ones, right? And you have a tie in like fifth place that was between Guardians 3, Captain America 3, and Doctor Strange, right? And
original?
Doctor Strange 2.
Oh, yeah, well, you have like
a so that was like the three-way tie right there. And if the word of mouth was true, if Captain Marvel did have a budget of 275 million, then in that case, this would be higher than all those three films. Which you gotta ask, why would they do that?
Are you saying that Doctor Strange 2 is a great movie?
Well, it's a good movie, yes.
Yeah.
I would like to disagree on that. That movie is not that good.
Oh, wow. That was the one movie we all agreed on that we thought was good.
Processing it now, I'm like, this is not that good of a movie.
Oh.
Which will fight you another time.
Okay. But anyway, all right. We'll see if the money was well spent or not when the movie comes out. So. All right, then. Let's move on to the next topic. Jake, you got this one.
Well, I'm going to ask you, is the writer's strike over?
No,
Corn. Ooh.
it's not over yet, but they're in the works, and there's a possibility that it could end soon because the studios want their writers and actors back.
Right.
They just made an agreement on nothing set in stone yet.
Okay.
I mean, I heard studios already gave the writers something, but they denied it. So
Yeah, something was released to show all the stuff that the writers were asking for and the
Well, I am reading an article by The Guardian, and it says, according to this quote from the WGA, we can say with great pride that this deal is exceptional with meaningful gains and protections for writers in every sector of the membership. They said in an email to strike captains on Sunday night. So whatever is being proposed, signed or not, it's good, substantial to them.
We're getting there.
No one knows the nature of this deal. It hasn't been ironed out in contractual language, from my understanding. And it hasn't been ratified by union leadership and its 11,500 members. It is yet to be revealed to us. But apparently, something was said, people were happy, and it might be over. So,
then
we just gotta wait for the actors, and so that they can get fair wages too, and also good.
If this does pan out, this does prove you cannot just hire people off the street and replace them with strike people. So,
all right, we hope for the best. I mean, I just
update audience. Update. I found the piece I was missing for my mic setup.
Cool.
Hey, I was looking for this everywhere.
All right, then. Does anybody here have any further thoughts on this?
Not really.
Support the writers, support the actors.
Okay.
That we're just that much closer. We're that much closer to Cobra Kai the next season. So.
Yeah.
That's priorities? Okay.
I'm just concerned about Deadpool, honestly, but that's just me.
You can wait. You can wait for Deadpool. It's not going to be the end of the world if you don't get him.
It is to me. That's like saying to you, which it's not going to be the end of the world if you never get Alpha Flight.
Oh, I'll live without an Alpha Flight movie. Honestly, it's probably for the best.
Okay, we have that.
Go ham on it.
We have that recorded, so all right.
Nah, I don't give a fuck.
Hear that, studios? The biggest Alpha Flight fan in the world is okay with not having an Alpha Flight movie. All right.
Yeah, because I know they're gonna fuck them up. They're gonna fuck up these characters, and I can't have that. It's like the least I'm asking for is the correct casting, and I already know they're not gonna do that. And I swear, if they straight wash North Star, I will go on a rampage.
They're not gonna straight wash North Star.
Especially since he was the first.
They are not gonna straight wash North Star. I can promise you that. They might fuck up his visual design to you, but they are not gonna straight wash him. No.
It's like, come on, you can cast a queer actor for North Star. You can cast indigenous actors. You can also cast a Jewish actor for Walter.
What they might do is give him a kiss scene in the background so they can edit it out in the China releases, but like they are not gonna straight wash.
Oh yeah, you want to know how I know that? It's because I saw Eternals.
I saw Star Wars.
And Star Wars.
So, but yeah, all right, you ready?
All right, let's move on to the next. You know what? Why don't you tackle this one?
Oh Jesus. So apparently, people walked out of the test screening for Aquaman Dose. So I wasn't planning on seeing this movie anyways. So good to know.
You guys know why they walked out, apparently?
Because it was boring. It was fucking boring.
Oh.
That's what I heard.
Oh, no. Apparently there was a disturbing scene about Aquaman. Apparently Aquaman and Mira do have a baby, and apparently that baby gets killed visually.
Oh, yeah, Jesus. That was in the comics.
Like,
oh, you know what? I want to see this movie now.
Oh. No, they cut that out. They took that out.
Oh man, I hate audiences. I hate audiences so much. This is why we can't have cool, interesting stories because they won't let us do stuff.
I never heard of someone so excited about seeing a baby get killed.
Because
wow.
that means the villain did what he had to do. There was no PG.
Having baby murderer on your resume is probably not a good thing.
There was no PG-13. Oh, we thought the baby was dead, but we saved it. It was like, nah, we did it. They took the risk. I was like, I approve of it.
DC already has a bad rap for putting a baby in a microwave. You want to see one get their throat sliced? Man?
Hang on, but that baby was alive though. That baby was alive. Okay, that's the difference. This baby's gonna die, or it was. So,
how much you guys want? How much you want to bet? Like instead of the baby dying, it's gonna be the redhead.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? If we can't kill babies in comics, we should be able to do it in movies. I'm just saying.
Oh, they have killed babies in comics.
Exactly.
Babies have died in comics before. I literally have one of those books on my wall.
I'm trying to remember the most recent death of a baby. Honestly,
recently, I couldn't say.
Well, because I don't think recently, but definitely back then they were like, "Let's kill all the babies."
The closest I could remember was during the Ed Brubaker run of Captain America, where after Cap died, Sharon found out that she was actually pregnant with his child, right? And unfortunately, in a confrontation with Sin stabbed her in the stomach area, which resulted in a miscarriage.
Yeah, well, that's not killing a baby. That's a miscarriage. There is a difference. That's a fetus.
I guess, like I said,
we're talking about babies that were popped out of the womb.
I'm not excited for baby murder. It's just that I'm impressed that they were willing to go that far, and there was a villain who had a dog in him that would do it. So that's kind of what I was impressed with. But now knowing they have to cut it out because audiences are too sensitive.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but not a lot of people like seeing babies getting murdered.
But it's a movie.
Yes, I agree that it's a risk. It would be very interesting to see. But what rating is this movie supposed to be?
PG-13, I'm assuming.
But this
should be rated R, and I'll be okay with it.
This is also my problem too, because even rated R movies, I feel like they hold back to I feel like some rated R movies might as well just be PG-13 movies. You know what I mean?
The only reason why they are rated R is so that they can curse.
Right. But I'm like, what's the point of rated R if we can't go all the way? I'm just saying. I'm not saying be tasteless. I'm not saying just have rampant, unspeakable things happen for no reason. But
that's what the Saw movies and Human Centipede are for.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, take risk. But I heard the movie was boring, and that's why people walked out. So,
wow.
Oh yeah, I already have an idea that this movie's going to be boring because I remember watching the first one and I got so bored.
Well, it definitely is going to be boring now. What do I have to talk about?
And I definitely got overstimulated by that last fight scene. Because there's too much going on, and I hated it.
What do I have to talk about now in this movie? Oh, the heroes came out okay, and the baby was alive specifically. How
much y'all want to bet people are going to be blaming James Gunn for that baby scene?
It's his fault. It's not my fault.
I hope this isn't a thing. I hope this is the thing where they got a bad test audience, because then people, when the movie comes out, people are like, "Man, this would have been great if the baby was dead." I'd be so heated if I was James Gunn. But
oh man, why can't DC get a win? Dang it!
Yeah,
never.
But listen,
they could have gotten a win?
How?
If they would have had the Wonder Twins movie with the correct casting.
They would not have. Wonder Twins would not have saved DC. I doubt it.
It would for me.
It would have saved it for Witch.
Yes. Which they had the correct casting for Blue Beetle, and look how that turned out.
Cryptid, you're just being a hater.
I'm being realist here.
Are you being real, or are you just being a hater?
Look at the numbers. Did it bomb or not?
Is Cryptid being a hater?
Let the comments decide. You decide in the comments below. Anyway, I'm ready to go.
All right, guys.
I don't want to talk about Aquaman anymore.
Okay. Okay, guys, we're done with the media news. Now we're going on to the comic news.
Yay!
And I guess, do you want to tackle this one?
I'll talk about this one. So they recently announced the fall of the House of X and the rise of Powers of X. And they also revealed that sometime next year they're bringing back Magneto. So his sacrifice meant jack shit, which is normal in comics. So that means probably Araco is going to be doing, like, having some fun, I believe. I don't know. I haven't read X-Men Red. People have been giving me shit about that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, fuck you, Charles, because you know what you did. You didn't want to listen to Destiny, and now look at where we are right now.
Why would you oppose Destiny?
Her name is literally Destiny, and Charles, you're like, let's not bring her back. I don't want to see the flaw in my perfect vision. I'm like, what? What is perfect about this, man?
Another piece to add to this news was the fact that we're getting Magneto back, apparently.
That's what Witch just said. But yes, we are getting Magneto back.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't miss that part.
They literally released a thing that says the resurrection of Magneto.
Yay! Like,
If you're hey, Comic Cons, what's up?
Oh, hey.
I have
what's
a question for you. Is Cryptid a hater? Let me know.
I'm being a real. Am I a hater or am I a realist?
Being a hater.
Okay, so
decide with one is to hate the other. Choose wisely.
Okay, man, I wish Austin were here. I think he would have more thoughts on this, but does this mean where Krakoa is still gonna be a thing?
Yeah, like I thought it said Fall of X. That is pretty definitive. Okay, that's like a we are dying. It's over. Then they have the rise of the X. I
have a theory, though. I have a theory. So the reason why Araco and Krakoa are split into two different nations is because they used to be like one, and now they split. So I think they're gonna like fuse back together or something. I don't know. Very real possibility.
Mm-hmm. No, this is how you get rid of Krakoa. You have it fused with Toronto,
that was not the reason.
What?
No, he was saying this is how he was pitching his. He was doing a pitch.
in the chat.
Oh,
that wasn't him. That was me. So.
That's still wrong.
Okay, well, say your piece. Say it.
It might not have been popular with the normie audience, but it'll definitely be popular with the correct audience. I just don't like Mr. Riverdale casted as Zan. I don't think he could do the role justice. Yeah, no offense. From the one episode of Riverdale I've seen, I'm like, no. No. I don't know about the actress they chose for Jaina, but honestly, I've never seen the Wonder Twins as white. I've always saw them as like South Asian if they were going to be human. That just so happened to be from Sweden. Don't worry about it. So I think they could have casted someone else, but I know why they casted who they casted.
Okay.
Right. Well, back to Fall of X. I don't know why they're falling and then picking up again. I just want them to die. And when they come back, they better be the X-Men.
Do you want all these mutants to just live at the mansion?
Oh,
I mean,
do you want Gambit in your sex ed class and also your intro to art history?
Yeah, that's one good point. Now that you resurrected as many mutants as possible, where are they all going to live now?
I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of these countries have basically outlawed mutants. Like the entire country of Canada, as stated in the Alpha Flight book.
Did the USA outlaw mutants?
They're working on it.
It's probably because they have a base on the moon or Mars.
Orcus is dealing with all the mutant problems right now, so
yeah, they're getting their asses handed to them by Shadowcat, Psylocke, and several other lovelies.
Not even the heavy hitters? Oh man, bro. No, I'm sorry.
Well, keep in mind, we got our mutant Alpha Flight pulling the fuck up against these box sentinels, but I'll get back to that later.
Oh, Comic-Con says, I'm just gonna say I wouldn't be hyped for a Wonder Twins film.
Well, Comic-Con,
so with that, you will. Okay, another realist. So
no, Cryptid, you're just being a hater. Comic-Con's just being a realist because he's actually stating his.
So Cryptid's the problem. It's just Cryptid's the problem.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to have a profile pic.
I'll do it when I'm good and ready. All right.
Good and ready. We've been doing this for weeks.
He'll walk through the valley of death and he'll earn his profile picture and get it right.
This is gonna be a shitty drawing of Deadpool.
It's gonna be Deadpool with a Captain America shield. That's what it'll be.
Yeah, making out with something. I don't know yet. Making out with the shield. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts on this?
No, we're good.
Magneto's gonna be pissed off.
He's gonna be pissed off that there's a clone of him out there. So.
Well, he already knew about the clone.
Wait, that clone was existing, but while he was still alive?
Yeah, that clone's been there. Are you talking about the girl?
No. There was a clone of Magneto that popped up in the Scarlet Witch book.
Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah, he's been here. He's been here for a while.
No, okay. Oh, and I guess while we're on the subject of Scarlet Witch, her book's getting canceled.
Yeah, what else is new?
Yeah, everybody saw that coming,
I need to,
even the
get
writer.
new books to put in my box so that I have reasons to go.
No, honestly, I think this is kind of profiling because they just hate her because she truncated the mutant species. Okay.
Yeah, but she apologized and atoned for that like 3 million times.
I know.
They literally had a whole event about it that wasn't even that good.
Look, be kind. I know she did some terrible things in the past, but come on, you gotta move on at some point.
Right.
You're in the best position you could possibly be.
Crimes. But I don't expect the entire mutant population to automatically forgive her, but at least they can acknowledge that, she helped them out like a decent amount of times.
But this is what they do. They cancel you and they never let you come back. So.
Yeah, no, I've seen people come back from being canceled.
Comic-Con saying, y'all are too much. We gotta have you part of us. Comic-Con one of these days.
Yeah, no, Jules has like a lot of overnight shifts.
Yeah,
not Jules, hold on. King Castro, he has a lot, he works a lot of overnight. He literally told me that on a different shift I was on.
One of these days the stars will align.
Maybe not on a main week, but maybe maybe not on a main podcast day, but on another one.
Gotcha.
R.I.P. Jake.
You died in a house fire. Ooh. Right as we were going to go on to the next topic. Well, let's give Jake another minute. So, how do you feel about Scarlet Witch being canceled?
I actually like the book. I love the art. I love what they did with Wanda in this. I still need to read the issue with her and Loki getting banging it out or whatever the fuck. But
I mean, I liked
the book. It's a good book. Why you keep falling? Sorry, my comic fell off my wall again. But
gotcha.
No, I really liked it. I wish they would acknowledge Tommy, her other son.
You know what I would. You know what I would have liked them to have acknowledged?
Your mom?
Brother Voodoo.
Yes, that too.
I'm like, I think that's what he was.
Together.
I think that's what Steve Orlando was upset about, really, because he knew this series was not going to make it past issue 10, unfortunately, but that's because of sales, But I like
Marvel hates Wanda Maximoff.
Yeah, but I like this book for what it's worth. It was just exploring the people that were closest to Wanda issue by issue,
and also it's helping her go through all the mental trauma she's been through as well.
Yep. So far in this run, she got to have an issue with Viv. She got an issue with Wiccan. She got an issue with Agatha. Tommy's the unfavored twin, which you got to know.
Unfavored twin. Wanda is the favorite twin.
Gotcha. But yeah, don't really know what else to say. Steve Orlando, you did a good run. It's just unfortunate numbers.
We love your book.
Numbers didn't pull it. So, all right.
No, I thought this was the book that was going to last in my collection.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I need to call my comic book shop so that they can add a very specific indie book that I plan on reading to my box.
Ooh, okay.
So
you do that.
Yeah, Nick Robles did the art for the covers mostly, and you know how I feel about Nick Robles.
Hello,
Jay.
And you're alive. You didn't die in the house fire. You got resurrected by me. I resurrected Jake, guys.
I said that I returned again in the new era. Welcome to the new era.
Just like the X-Men.
I resurrected your ass.
Listen.
You got.
Unlike
Mhm.
Shang Tsung, I live a very successful life in the new era.
Well, it's funny you should mention Shang Tsung. Oh, not Shang Tsung. I'm confusing him with Shang-Chi now. Dang it. Okay, let's move on to the next topic now, guys. All right, I'll announce this one. The Thunderbolts top targets announced.
Okay.
All right, this is VI variant covers, but in case the audience needs up to date as to what's going on, Marvel is giving Jackson Lanz and Colin Kelly, the creative team behind the last Captain America Sentinel of Liberty book that I don't want to talk about. They're giving them the Thunderbolts book, which is just going to be a continuation off of their run, right? And the roster is exactly the roster you saw from the MCU.
What? What?
Except with like a few additions. You're going to have Shang-Chi in it, and I forgot who else. Yeah,
US
that's
agent?
it.
Oh, wait, no. Chang-Chi
Yeah,
and.
Look,
Nope. That's
you're going to have, Sharon Carter as the Destroyer. Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, so the targets is you're going to have Bucky and Red Guardian going after the Red Skull.
Mm.
You're going to have Black and White Widow going after Kingpin. U.S. Agent and Shang-Chi going after the American Kaiju. Sharon Carter.
Alive?
Oh, yeah. And Sharon Carter and Valentine going after Doctor Doom. Oh, man. American Kaiju is the only character I'm like, that gives me a little sense of thrill, but at the same time, I've seen what this creative team did when they handled patriotic heroes in the past, and I don't want to see them with this. Let me take a wild guess. The American Kaiju is going to eat John Walker and crap him out. Oh no, but before he craps him out, Shang-Chi is going to be the one to defeat the American Kaiju, and that's when he craps John Walker out.
Maybe. I don't know. I didn't read the book with this team, so.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, I don't know how Sharon Carter and Valentine are going to.
Jake?
R.I.P. Jake. Sorry, my
Oh,
resurrection
no.
spells are.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Okay.
It worked.
I was saying, I don't know how Sharon Carter and Valentine are going to be able to beat Doctor Doom, but we'll see like us. That seems like that should be a team threat, like the whole team versus Doctor Doom, but it's just me.
If there's one thing I've noticed about Sharon Carter over the past couple of years is that they're really trying to upgrade her into a powerhouse. And guess what? Nobody cares.
Yeah. If the MCU can't do it, the comics aren't going to do it. I'm telling you that right now. So.
I mean, seriously, she was one of the recent Iron Patriots, and then when she finally got her youth back, she became just as strong, if not stronger, than Steve Rogers in the physical scale. And right now, she has the mantle and equipment of the Destroyer. But is anybody excited? Does anybody care?
I really don't. That's crazy.
Barely anybody even remembers or knows that stuff happened to her,
Right. But yeah. Oh, well. Well, let's got more dad.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see.
I'll do the next one.
Go ahead.
Because half the list got cut because Thanos came along. Ultimate Spider-Man Returns by Jonathan Hickman. But the question is,
which one?
Yeah, which one?
Oh, we're getting Ultimate Spider-Man back, but we can't get Ultimate X-Men back? The fuck? That was the only book I enjoyed out of this entire universe.
It's easier to go with one character than it is 10 characters at once.
Yeah, but they have the other book with the Illuminati in it. They could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just stick with one version of the X-Men.
We already have like 10 X-Men books going on right now, which so
Most of these are miniseries.
still. But
Yeah,
anyway,
hater, like I said.
but anyway, we're getting Ultimate Spider-Man, and I'm going to already state this: it's going to be Peter Parker.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, because like if the Miles Morales book is still going on and it has yet to acknowledge anything that's really going on with this Ultimate Invasion stuff. So yeah, no brainer.
Comic-Cons, you follow me on my socials. You can just hit me up.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
I don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, bringing back Ultimate Spider-Man is like, most of it's like a fresh reboot. I don't know. There was something about Ultimate Spider-Man that I would hope you can replicate, but I wouldn't hold my breath you can. You know,
What made him stand out amongst the other revisions of characters in the Marvel universe is the fact that in the Ultimate Universe, Spider-Man was just Spider-Man. He was Peter Parker, just put in the Ultimate Universe. Nothing really changed about him, and that's what people found appealing. You know,
his situations were a bit more personal for his age. You know, I felt a bit more real, and it was pretty much a soap opera, basically. Oh my God, MJ, I'm in love with you. What? Kitty Pryde loves me now. What do I do with this information?
Bro,
woe's
dude,
me.
reading that in Ultimate X-Men was kind of nuts. I was like, girl, are you dating Bobby or are you dating Peter? What's happening over here?
Oh
well,
man, MJ's crying again.
Which, in Kitty's defense, Bobby had the hots for Rogue throughout their relationship,
well,
which is why
Bobby's
they
a hot
broke
fucking
up.
mess.
That was because of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby's a hot fucking mess, man. What'd you expect from the man?
But it's like, you know, Peter just gets his relationship back together. Oh man, Norman Osborn's free, and he's gonna hunt down Peter to the ends of the earth because he knows his identity. You know, it was like all this stuff. Oh no, Harry Osborn got shot. Like it was like I think Ultimate Spider-Man was like the days of the life of Peter Parker. I think that's what made it special. You know, I don't. I would hope a writer. I'm not gonna say it can't be done again. It obviously can, but I hope another writer can capture that feeling. So, you know.
I wonder if this Peter Parker is going to age up.
Probably not. I mean, all of Ultimate Spider-Man apparently happened in a year somehow.
Wow. I think this was one theory that our old buddy Philly Superman proposed. What if you have the Peter Parker of the Ultimate Universe go on to be the Scarlet Spider?
That would be cool.
The ultimate Scarlet Spider. You know, that way you could still give the Spider-Man mantle, keep it for Miles, you know?
Yeah.
And on top of that, this is being written by Jonathan Hickman, who, if you know his writing style, yeah, you definitely want to pick this up to follow through with his Ultimate Invasion storyline, you know? So.
Yeah. But you know, yeah, I don't know how we would have to see how it is. Have we seen a cover or a poster or anything?
No, we just basically got the same logo as the X-Men, the Fall and Rise of X-Men, you know?
Okay, well, we'll see how this goes. Like I said, you'd have to do the same drama. You have to hit that drama beat before that Ultimate Spider-Man had, because that was an immaculate soap opera. Okay, Spider-Man's life.
You know, when you say drama, man, all I'm hearing is that they're going to break up Mary Jane and Peter again.
That was no. Cryptic. You understand? That was like every week with Peter. Every other arc, those two will break up, and then they'd be like, "Oh, well, we love each other," and then they come back again, and they break up, and then they get back together.
It was a high school sort of thing, you know. like at first, like MJ had a pretty reasonable reaction when they the first time they broke up, right? Is the fact that she couldn't deal with all the superhero stuff. Like her and people around her, their lives were in danger with Peter, and like she thought she could handle it, but she couldn't, and that's why they broke up. But eventually, she realized she had deeper feelings with Peter, and so they got back together. And a couple arcs later, Peter realizes, no, I really am going to be putting MJ in danger, and that's why they broke up.
It was because MJ kept putting herself in situations he would ask her not to be in. He's like, what is wrong with you? I'm trying to keep you safe. You keep nearly dying.
Peter, I love you. Like this and that, you know?
Yes. So,
but, you know, eventually by the end, like the very last scene we did see of those two was, you know, when Peter came back from the dead, right? And he and MJ are like, let's just go. They just drove off into the sunset.
yeah.
And then
they will break up again and then come back together again.
Oh, you know what? Let's have those two tie the knots. Like this is the ultimate universe, you know? So
yeah.
You could end their chapter of them hooking up.
You know, instead of doing Ultimate Spider-Man, they should just do Ultimate Spider-Girl, and that way we could Peter and MJ are together, right? And then we have Mayday Parker be in a universe because I really like the idea of that character, and I like what I see of her every time I see her. So you know, have an Ultimate Spider-Girl, and it could be like, you know, the sequel.
I think there already was an Ultimate Spider-Girl in the Ultimate Universe.
There was, but that was Peter's clone.
Well, hello, new person. I think you're new.
Hey, we got somebody new.
Oh,
the
dingus
Den.
Welcome to our pod.
Hey,
welcome.
We're just talking about the Ultimate Spider-Man coming back in comics by Jonathan Hickman.
Yeah. If you missed any of our prior topics, you can always scroll back and then catch back up with us. It's up to you. You know.
Yeah, feel free to stay for Alpha Flight though.
Yeah. Also, you know, if you feel up to it, like, you know, subscribe for more of that goodness. So
and share with your friends and your dog.
Yes. The dog part is very important, but you know,
like a pet in general. Yes.
Yes. But
you know, one of the things I liked about Peter's clone, you know, the Spider Girl, like she was an exact gender bent version of Peter, right? With all his memories and all his feelings, meaning she had the hots for MJ too. So.
You know what else? You know what else she had? You know what else had the hots for? Johnny Storm. You know? Do you remember that?
I forgot about that.
There's like I think it's there's a random one where Johnny and Spider Girl are talking and they're hitting it off, and Johnny doesn't know that's like Peter's female half, and so he asks her out on a date, and then I forget who, either Johnny or Spider Girl tells him, and Peter has this big freak out, and he has to take it out on all these criminals.
I remember that.
I didn't even know Peter that was Spider Girl was female Peter till later. And I was like, oh, that's terrible. That sucks, bro.
No, I mean, you literally once she unmasked herself in front of Peter, you know, it's like they both have the same face structures, except she's wearing lipstick and she has longer hair. That was the only difference.
Yeah.
But
you know.
Okay. Nice. Okay. The Dingus Den is saying, nice. I've heard Ultimate Universe is coming back. Will be interesting to see how it turns out. As do we all.
Yeah. So, will it be as cool as the first Ultimate Universe? And by cool, I mean Spider-Man and X-Men and Fantastic Four, and that was it. But we'll see. But
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But anyway, with that, I think we should move on to the next one.
Right. I'll announce it.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Jake.
So Avengers Twilight announced by Chip Zdarsky.
I have a question. A genuine question. Is this what I think it's gonna be?
Is it?
What?
Is it going to be an Avengers parody on Twilight?
The Vampire Avengers.
I'm asking a genuine question, and you're making fun of me.
Yeah, no. I'm also curious as well. Like, why is it called Avengers Twilight?
And,
like, is it the Twilight era of
because all the cool names,
Ragnarok style?
All the cool names have been taken. All right.
Are we doing the Twilight Sword? Are we bringing that? Okay. Well,
we'll see. But you guys got to remember, it's Chip Zdarsky writing it, so it's going to be a damn good book. You know.
So the news isn't that there's a new Avengers book; it's that Chip Zdarsky is picking up the pen again.
Yay!
Okay, might as well.
We all want to,
Apparently, this is about the The final days of the Avengers. And I don't know why they would say that, because obviously it's not.
Which Avengers, though?
I guess this team Avengers. I don't know. The final days of Avengers. Marvel is. Oh, by the way, if everyone wants to look this up, this is comicbookresources.com. With something like Final Days of Avengers, Marvel is keeping an open number of possibilities for what the project could be about. But either way, it looks to be the next major Marvel project from Zdarsky following his exit from the highly acclaimed run on Daredevil. So,
okay.
Yeah. Oh, and if you want to learn more about it, you can learn about it next month at New York Comic Con.
Yay, which I will be going to. Yay.
You go to one big con, I go to one big con.
Tell Chip Zdarsky to subscribe to us.
You know who's also going to be there? Zeb Wells.
He was at San Diego, too.
What a brave soul that guy is.
The Dingus says, very interested in seeing what's coming from that panel. May make a video covering it. Good.
Cool.
Tag us in it.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, going back to the Avengers topic, okay, let's each name 2 people we want to see on this team.
I don't know. Iron Man? I don't know. This is good.
Which?
Hello. Hold on.
Who would name 2 people who you want to see on this team?
I don't know. It's been a hot minute since I picked up an Avengers book. I know I want to see Janet, but she's doing Avengers Inc. stuff.
You can be a part-timer.
I forgot about that. You know, technically there are 3 Avengers books going on right now.
I asked this on Cape Joel's channel. I was like, why are there like so many Avengers at the same time? Why can't there just be like one Avengers team at like different branches?
It's the same thing with Batman.
Right. I'm like, I would just rather have one Avengers team and we have different branches. Like, why they should all be like in the same network. You know?
The most amount of Avengers books I recall having there being in like the same time were about 4, maybe 5. But okay, so currently we have Avengers, we have Uncanny Avengers, and we have Avengers AI. And now we're gonna have Twilight Avengers. So that's 4.
We don't have Avengers AI right now.
Okay, but I gotta ask, like, are these teams connected to each other? Like, do they have like share the same Microsoft team?
Since it's called Avengers Twilight, we should have Brother Voodoo pull the fuck up.
Well, I'm just saying for branding purposes, like I don't want the other Avengers team to ruin my image. Just like they suck, you know what I mean? Like I would want to coordinate, you know.
Okay, Muffled Jake, yeah.
Yeah, you're muffling, man.
Vampire Avengers.
Vampire Avengers, yeah.
Hey, your boy, what's his name? B Negative could have his time to shine.
Ooh, maybe if he wasn't only in one fucking book.
Hey.
And it was a Darkhold Blade book, so it wasn't even the main universe.
Which it is too soon. He still has the orbit of new warriors around him. So
just so this chat knows.
But no, if B Negative pulls the fuck up, I will actually lose my mind.
Just so this chat knows, we are B positive for B negative.
Yes. That's our slogan, apparently.
All right.
You know, in closing, like either all the Avengers teams need to be connected or like one Avengers team, and then everyone else gets a new name. Like, you know, champions.
No, here's what you do, Jake. This is what they ended up doing with in the previous era where they had 4 Avengers teams, right?
Right.
They had one Avengers event called No Surrender, which was combining all the other teams into this one book.
Yeah, and then they should have just stayed one team. That's really foundation.
And then then after that, they had only one Avengers book.
They should have kept it that way.
Yeah.
So, you know, but yeah, you know, so much more about Justice League Unlimited. They had like 1,000 Justice Leaguers, and they were all one team. Okay, but yeah, all right. Unless if you guys have the list, I will announce the next one.
Yeah, no, I'll announce this one.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Beware the Planet of the Apes series announced by Marvel. I'm hoping this is better than the last Planet of the Apes book.
Oh, it did terribly. That's right, you reviewed it.
Yeah, well, it's not that it was terrible. It's just there really wasn't any meat to that. Like, it just, I think what held that book back the most was the fact that we know that there's going to be a new Planet of the Apes movie coming up, right?
Mhm.
So this book had to kind of like play around with that. Had to be limited by that because it can't really do anything too big, too noticeable that can interfere with what the movie is doing. I mean, all the book really did was just introduce who likely is going to be the main characters in the next movie, which is Pug, who is the leader of the ape army in Europe, and this one military chick. I forgot her name, but she was a POC soldier. That's all I remember. She has a good relation with the apes, and she's looking for her husband, but that's as far as I can remember.
How much you want to bet her husband's dead?
It's very likely, or maybe her husband's never even going to show up in the film.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as this news goes of Beware the Planet of the Apes, this is going to go back to the original one, right? But instead, this is going to be focusing on the nephew that was from the first film, the nephew of Cornelius. I don't know if you guys remember him. He was the one.
Yeah.
You act like I know Planets of the Apes.
Yeah,
We
I know
watched the
Planet of the
movie.
Apes.
I
Yeah.
didn't watch shit.
No, Witch did not watch the movie. We did not watch the movie with Witch.
hmm
But we will make you watch it someday.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah, let's
it's
see
going
if
to
you guys finish Boys Over Flowers with me, okay?
That is not comparable, even though Boys and Flowers is great.
Everyone should go watch Boys Over Flowers. It's on Netflix.
Yes.
But we're talking about apes now, Witch. So get with the program.
So what's up with Cornelius?
This story is going to be about his nephew, the one who helped Taylor escape. So okay, well, he hasn't really had a story told, so you could do stuff with him.
If the audience has not watched the original Planet of the Apes, I highly recommend it. If you want an example of a movie that could not be done today, so. If you want an example as to why, watch the first 30 minutes. This would cause social media outrage today. So.
And audience, if you want to see a reboot done properly, look at the reboot of Planet of the Apes.
Mm-hmm. Not the like the one with what's his name?
Mark Wahlberg.
Not the Mark Wahlberg one. Do the one after. The one after.
The one with Andy Serkis.
The one with Andy Serkis.
Yeah. That is an underrated trilogy. That was a really phenomenal one.
Dingus, then do yourself a service as a Planet of the Apes fan, if you are one, to go see the original again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So. But but yeah, Dingus, did you watch War of the Planet of the Apes, or did you just watch Rise and Dawn? But as he's answering that, we can go back to our discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like I said before, I don't really have an interest in the comics. It's just it's not interesting. It's like Star Trek to me. Like I love Star Trek. I would have a hard time reading a comic about it because so much of what carries Star Trek is the acting. Same with Planet of the Apes.
Jake, just wait until they do a crossover with Star Trek. It's gonna happen one day, man.
I'm pretty sure it has happened before. I think Austin showed it.
It's amazing the crossovers Planet of the Apes had. They had a crossover with Tarzan. They had one with King Kong. They had one with I know there was another one that I'm just not remembering right now. Kong? Did I mention Kong?
Did you? I don't think so. No, you mentioned Tarzan. You mentioned Tarzan.
Yeah, they mentioned Tarzan. They had one with Tarzan and King Kong. And that's all I can remember right now, but I'm sure there was more but I'm just not remembering. So yeah, that's fun premises. I mean, like when they ran into King Kong, right? That was their god. Like, oh, you see this giant hulking ape. Of course, what do you think they're going to think?
Right. Also, Comic Con.
Oh.
I think we rewatched. I don't know if it was with you. No. It was Austin and I. We were rewatching the reboot Planet of the Apes with Andy Serkis, and Rise has some of the greatest cinematography I've ever seen. That whole final act is just filmed like beautifully. so, so, you know.
Oh, the thing is, then I've read the Green Lantern and Planet of the Apes. Yes, that's the one I was thinking about. I just couldn't remember. Yeah, that was a good run. Cornelius finding like a Green Lantern ring during one of his archaeological digs. Yeah, had a good premise. So,
Yes, but you know, it's just a very adaptable premise. You know.
Our dream pitch, I think this is what we discovered, what we talked about before in a previous recording. They need to do Steve Rogers, no, Captain America and Planet of the Apes crossover. You know,
You'll have actually, yeah. He wakes up modern day. He's like, "You maniacs!"
and then you have like all the pure-blooded apes who like do nothing but demonize humans, saying that they're the devil, they're the worst living creatures in the world. But then they see Steve Rogers, the noble, the pure-hearted guy, and they're like, "Oh no, everything we learned is a lie." Like,
Then you find out that instead of humanity blowing up, it was because of Stark Tech. Stark Tech blew up the world. He's like, "God damn you!"
Those nuclear warheads had to come from somewhere. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Let us write the new Marvel crossover. There you
go. Yes. Let me be in charge of doing all the Captain America stuff. So. All right. Okay, guys. With that, we're done with the comic news. Now we're going on to the comic reviews.
Okay.
And amazingly, like, it's funny that we were talking about Captain America, because the first one we're talking about is Captain America #1.
Also, stay tuned later for, I'm assuming, an hilarious time talking about Batman's latest fuck up. So. But go ahead, Krypton.
Okay. If I could summarize this book, is how I could best describe it. Is I think this is a good book to read if you're starting to get into Captain America as a jumping on point. You know, I mean, yes, there's a little tidbit they had to pick up from the last run, and that's Steve purchasing the apartment that he used to live in New York, right? So Steve is not going to be a landlord. Not as easy as it looks, Steve. Believe me, I have to maintain like about 3 properties myself on top of my job. But
seems like a you problem.
It's now a Captain America problem, which so of course the first thing he starts doing is he's actually going to fix up the place a bit. It seems like he's going to be doing this all himself. Steve, I would advise you get some help on this. Construction ain't easy, man. But the tenants, they're nice people. They are very grateful for what Steve is doing because, upon purchasing the building, that means they won't be evicted and all, And of course, you have this one tenant who's making dinner for Steve and all that stuff. And geez, I hope these tenants are paying Steve for the rent. They're not expecting a free house or anything like that. Just hoping.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Comic-Con saying, I thought about reading the new Cap. Yep, you should. It's actually a good start.
Now, hang on, Krypton.
Yeah.
You understand. Well, you are my friend. I have to call you out.
What?
Because you were the one who was complaining about this the most. I think the last episode.
That's true.
About Captain America being a landlord?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I had some iffy feelings about that. I mean, even as I'm talking about this, I'm like, Steve, you might want to get some help on this. It's a lot harder than you think it is. Hopefully, you'll get a handle on this. So, I'm trusting the writer. All right, Jay Buckle-Straczynski to be handling this.
Okay,
Okay.
you're giving it a shot. I can't blame you for that. You're giving it a shot. That's fair.
Okay. But anyway, like, you have Lieutenant, talking with Steve, like, about your mother must be so proud of you, this and that. And, that's when Steve is talking about, like, his life growing up. Like, he never really was able to have good memories with him and his dad. Or, since his dad died really when he was really young. And on top of that, most of the memories he would have is him coming home drunk, but they would still visit him in his grave. And you have this good page of, like, each year Steve and his mom will be visiting his grave. Gradually, Steve got older, and sadly, it reached to the point where his mom ended up having to pass away too, And yeah, this is more flashbacks of Steve kind of telling this one tenant about, what his upbringing was like. And she was asking, wait, so then what did you do after she passed away? Because she passed away when Steve was 16 years old. And we do get to see that fill in the blank moment. You see Steve, he's outside the apartment with the landlord, and the landlord's like, out of respect for your mother, kid, I was able to hold off on your rent collecting, but it's been 3 months, and I'm sorry, but I am going to have to evict you to use up that space for somebody else. And Steve, he is very understanding of the situation, and he doesn't want to cause any trouble. The landlord offered to, like, hold on to his mother's belongings until Steve could find a place of his own. And that's when you kind of like see what Steve was doing then. And Steve, he was homeless. I'm like, wow. You see him like in an abandoned built in an abandoned warehouse with just a blanket around him and a couple of boxes. And I'm like, wow. So this kind of might even be implying that Steve probably couldn't even finish high school growing up.
Mm.
I'm like, wow. That really hits you, you know?
Yeah, pretty good stuff. Good stuff.
Yep. But Steve, he tries making the most out of it. Like, he tries collecting money. He tries doing whatever odd job he can. You see pictures of him waxing cars, bagging up people's groceries, selling newspapers, this and that. Unfortunately, like, as is with life, it's not that easy, and the pay really isn't that much, But he does have one friend that's kind of like, looking after his back, and that's, Arnie. Which, do you want to explain who Arnie is?
Yeah, so unlike in the MCU, Arnie Roth was Steve Rogers' childhood best friend, unlike Bucky Barnes, who probably wasn't even born by the time they met, but honestly, who knows? Marvel timelines are weird. So,
Yep.
yeah, he was
He was.
basically Steve's childhood best friend.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first openly gay characters at Marvel, but not the first.
Mm-hmm.
But
They.
definitely, and he's also we don't have a lot of gay Jewish characters at Marvel, so but
Mm-hmm.
he's dead, and we probably not gonna get him back. So
Mm-hmm.
the last time we see any
He looked.
mention of him was in that one book you told me about, and also in Marvel Boys' Pride, the first one.
Yep. He lived a full life, even when Steve came back in the present day, Arnie was still around. Friendships last even through ice. But anyway, so you see when Steve is selling newspapers, that's when Arnie comes by, still trying to look after Steve, and even finds a lead on this one apartment, actually, where, the rent is cheap. You're talking about, let me see this, $30 for 3 months. But the thing is, like, the landlord is expecting $30 right up front. So Steve really tries to book it into action to collect this money. And audience, you gotta remember, this was like in the 1910s, so $30 that back
1910s,
then.
1920s.
Yep, somewhere around there. So of course, $30 was valued a lot more back then. But
In inflation right now, it's probably gonna be like 1,000.
Yep. But anyway, you get back to like the modern era, right? Steve. This is really like showing what Steve does when he's not out on missions, because like Fantastic Four come make an appearance in this book. They ask Captain America to help tag along in this one mission, and Steve does, and as soon as he comes back, he's exhausted, he's wiped out, like he just lays on the lawn for a bit. Hey, it's a working man situation. Who here has felt like as soon as we got back from a long day's work, you just want to sit down, like whether it be outside in your stairs or just in the ground, just need to relax, a moment to yourself. But unfortunately for Steve, like around the corner, again, this is the mean streets in New York you're talking about. There's a car chase going on, and Steve just happened to stop the gunman. And you have this one contractor who's around the area who warned Steve that another gunman was about to shoot him in the back. He alerted Steve, and he was able to react in time to stop the bad guy. Afterwards, like a couple days pass, and Steve ends up looking for that guy. He's someone by the name of Mr. Kim, right? He's a down on his luck contractor. Things aren't going well financially with him, and this is where Steve just gives an olive branch. Like, you've done so much for me. The least I can do is I have a construction project going on in this one apartment, and I could really use a hand. I could really use somebody who could do all the repairs, and of course, you'll be paid. So look at Steve giving out jobs,
Ronnie
man,
Kid
helping the family
Steve
out.
helped out with construction.
No, this is modern day witch.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking
Okay.
about back then. I was about to say, I was like, that makes
No.
no sense.
No,
That
this
makes
is
sense.
this is going. Yeah, this is going back and forth between the past and the present.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve's living situations back then, as well as Steve's living situations right now.
Mhm.
So I like Kim's reaction. Like he's calling his wife, saying, "Guess who's about to start working for Captain America?" I can't help, like, I'm an electrician in real life, so I can't help but feel a bit jealous of this contractor who gets the bragging rights to say that,
But yeah, I would say this book sounds like if Steve Rogers was going through a rough patch, this is his retreat. This is his business retreat to go find himself, to become a better man. So,
audience, this is the true healing of Captain America post Secret Empire. So, believe me, I felt all the blows in the past recent runs. So, I really needed a book like this. Good art and that stuff. And you're also introduced to like a villain, right? I don't. Some stuff is being explored. Like he's an explorer. About a couple years ago, he was in South America, exploring these ruins that deal with some evil god or whatever. And then after that happened, a couple months later, he has a meeting with this one woman who used to work for AIM, right? And he's like proposing to her plan, right? How about I have this one plan that'll give people the illusion of free choice, but we'll be running the shots. We're just really going to be building our own future, but people will think they're free. And the AI and the AIM woman's like, look, I've worked with AIM. I've heard every idea and plan up the wazoo. You have 5 minutes to try convincing me that this plan is any different than the ones I've heard before. 5 minutes later, she's like, okay, what do you need?
like, oh, that's a pretty good transition.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you have these two that are going to be tagging along. So anyway, the final couple of pages are really Cap, Steve, and Present waking up, right? ready for his next day, looking outside the window and just remembering back to, his days, right? Just struggling to pay rent. You see him in the park, like scrawny and all that stuff. With all the work he's done, he's only accumulated about $29.45. He's just, 55 cents more closer to getting his own place, And that's when you have like this one hot dog cart coming out saying, fresh hot dogs, 10 cents, ice cold soda, 5 cents. And Steve's there, like tummy rumbling. Oh man, he ends up not skipping out on that meal. Man, this just gives like a really dark reason as to why Steve had to have been scrawny by the time he goes to enlist in the army,
Yeah, no crap. He was malnourished.
Yep.
And also like had other BS going on.
Exactly. But anyway, he's like saying, no, I gotta get the 55 cents first, then I can eat. So as he's walking about, like there's this one event going on, right? That was actually passing out some free meals, this and that. Fortunately for Steve, he finally got to have a sandwich for the first time in a long time. Unfortunately, this was actually the site of a American German advertising program. German, aka Nazis. Like, oof. So this is basically going to be telling the story of Cap's first introduction to what Nazis are. So yeah, that's how the issue ends.
Well, I'm going to claim my W and say this is, I pretty much called it. This is probably what Cap needed right now. So.
I know.
So,
Marvel, your money was well spent, okay?
So, yeah. Sounds like a great book. Sounds like a very personal book. Again, this is probably what people needed. Like, I wouldn't even mind if later down the road. I mean, assuming how this run ends, I wouldn't mind if this could be a Captain America movie, maybe, or show. Who knows? So
I could see that,
Yeah.
So the last story of this run, I would imagine it's going to have to be the day before Captain America first goes to enlist in the army.
Yep.
It's going to build up to that moment.
Yep.
And this is what I like. This is a blank slate for Steve because there's no retconning of any kind going on when you're talking about the past of Steve. Unlike the last book that made dozens of retcons for the worse. But this is just giving new depths, going more explorations as to the struggles Steve had to go through growing up. 16-year-old kid, he had no family, he had no relatives. The only friend he had was Arnie, and that was it. And life was not easy for him. And this was around the time of the Great Depression, so it wasn't just affecting him; it was affecting the people around him.
Yeah.
But still, part of me is like, looking up, looking down, looking under the desk. Okay, where's the controversy going to happen? Where's the moment where Steve's mom says the N-word? Where's the moment where Steve himself is telling a woman, "Hey, get back in the kitchen, cook me a sandwich"? Like, Marvel just like. Really pushed the buttons on Captain America over the past couple of runs. So.
Listen. You're gonna find out that actually the land it's built on belonged to Native Americans, and he stole it. There you go.
Oh my god!
But all right, let's give Witch the time he needs to go over his book of the week.
Yep,
Oh,
we're done with talking about America, so now let's talk about Canada.
Oh, fuck off, you hater. It is alpha fight time, you motherfuckers. Yeah.
Pour one out for the American dream.
Both countries are awful, you know it. Anyways, hello, we're back on issue 2 out of 5, which I wish this would be ongoing, but that's just me personally. Anyways, we start out in Krakoa North, which if you don't know, what the hell are you doing? Go read the first issue. Just kidding. But yes, go read the first issue as well. basically this is where all of the mutant kids, like all the mutants that our lovely mutant Alpha Flight members are saving and holding them until they can safely be out. You know, so we start off with Mac, JP, and Kyle. If you don't know who we're talking about with Kyle, not Kyle Gibney, aka Wildchild, Kyle Janadu, no superhero alias because he doesn't want to be. So they're talking about how there is very little chance, like there's only one chance to be able to like save these kids and all this other stuff. You know, Mac seeming very suspicious, but that's just Mac. Yeah, fuck you, Mac. Off yourself. Anyways, so we cut over to some of the kids trying to go outside, and Aurora is stopping them and telling one of the kids why they can't go outside, but always, like, you know, she's like, here, let's find an alternative solution. I know that you want to go outside. Trust me, I get it. But it's like, it's not what you can see, it's who can see you, you know? We don't want you to get put in prison. You're like 10 years old. Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that at all. Anyways, we go back to the original three people that we were talking about, you know. So Mac is like, oh yeah, we don't have Cerebro, so you know we can only find the mutants that we're able to find, you know, blah 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 blah. Maybe the box program was like box sentinels were a good thing. And I'm like, oh, fuck off. Suck my dick. I hate you. Anyways, we cut over to my boy Shaman doing a little physical on a person named Argent. I don't know how you pronounce his name.
Okay, what do you mean by physical?
Like, you know, just checking if he can see and all this other shit. Make sure his heartbeat.
Okay.
Keep in mind, for the most part, he looks like a normal kid. However, he has like a really cool ability where he can turn himself into like a metal thing. I don't know how to explain it. Not like Colossus metal, but like, yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to explain, but he has a pretty cool ability.
Okay.
You know, and they're having a little talk. Shaman's like, oh yeah, you have a pretty cool ability. You seem like you want to like help out people. You should join like Alpha Flight maybe one day. And Argent, aka Laurent, he's like, yeah, I don't like the violence, so I'm good. And he's like, that's fine. Like and like Shaman's like, that's fine. You'll be safe here. We'll get you back to your room or whatever. And honestly, Shaman, don't say that. Don't say that. It's like when Cryptid says that we're having a short night. Don't fucking say that.
We're having a short night.
No!
Which scared me.
Anyway, so we get to the next page and we see that Laurent is writing a letter to his mom because we don't know if she's a mutant, but he's definitely a mutant. So yeah, he probably won't be able to see her for a while, but that's fine. Okay. So we cut over to Fang, aka Akihiro, and Puck, which that was an unlikely friendship, or I don't want to say friendship, co-workers. We'll say co-workers for right now.
Go for that.
So we see those two talking with Empress Sandra of the Shi'ar. Apparently the Shi'ar is like, yeah, we'll hold some of these mutants for you. Don't worry about it. You know? Like, yeah. It's like, we can't interfere with Earth politics, but we can hold on to these mutants for you. We'll make sure they're safe. And they're like, cool. Luckily, this is the only time that we see the Shi'ar, because if we saw more, I would be confused.
Yeah.
Anyways, we cut over to Bend, Oregon, which maybe is a town. I don't know. I didn't look it up. Why would I look it up? Anyways, we see a specific mutant by the name of Albert Lewis. You know, that's cool. That's cool. He's just trying to get some coffee, you know, get something to eat. And he's like, oh, I'll just get the check, because he sees a waitress talking with, I'm assuming, the owner of this restaurant. You know, and so the restaurant guy, like the owner guy, is trying to like talk with him, you know, and trying to keep him there. Probably not a good idea, because the moment he steps out, Albert, he notices that there's a lot of police cars, and the owner guy is like, maybe you just turn yourself in. And Albert, being pissed off, I get it, I would be too, is like, just everyone get the fuck out, you know? Like, He's like pissed off. I mean, I would be too. Even though I don't really care for the 90s run that much. Anyways, we cut over back to Krakoa North, where we see Snowbird and Nemesis talking. And Nemesis is scared that she won't be of use because using the teleportation power ability she has, etc., really tires her out. Which I get it. Just life tires me out all the time. I completely understand. So they have a little talk. I've seen people starting to ship these two and all that jazz. Hold on, I'll be right there.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Gotcha.
Anyways, and so Puck is like, "Yo, we gotta hit up Oregon," and Nemesis is like, "Okay, I'm ready." And so then we see Mac talking with Erica, the leader of Department H. Woo, not really. And she's like, "Okay, if you don't turn your ass back around, we're gonna fucking arrest you." And Mac's like, "Damn, okay, calm the fuck down." She's like, "Yeah, you had North Star Aurora and Nemesis humiliate your ass to humiliate Department A. Like, you better get back here, man.
Yeah.
We'll handle feedback later. And it's like, bro. But also, earlier in the book, Mac was like, "Oh, I have like a double agent, which I might think is this assistant lady that's hanging out with Erica, only because we see her for a moment and then she leaves."
Aww.
I know that might not mean much, but you never know. I'm just bringing that up. Anyway, so we go back to Oregon after we seeing an It's Jeff ad, the Jeffverse. Why not? Anyways, we go back to Oregon. We see a whole shit ton of box sentinels pull up. So keep in mind the non-mutant alpha flight is turning around because they don't want to get arrested. So they're leaving it up to Roger Box Jr., which if you don't know who Roger Box is, go watch one of the previous live streams, bro. I go more into detail later. But basically, Junior is making all the box sentinels, which fuck off. So I know he's trying to do a job, but still, come on, your morals, man, your morals. Anyways, the sentinels are like, "Albert Lewis, aka Feedback, come out of the building with your hands over your head and surrender." And Albert's like, "No, just leave me the fuck alone," and he goes all crazy fire thingy, I don't know, and starts destroying some of the box robots, as he should, and Albert's like, "Bro, I didn't even do anything wrong, I'm just trying to live." And Roger is like, "You're a mutant and you are still here. That's your crime, and your crime." Well, someone else says, "and your crime," and destroys the robot. And then we see an ad for Marvel Zombies, but that's not important. And then we see Akihiro with the metal claws. I thought he had bone claws, but that's fine. It's just random nitpicking. We'll get to my random nitpicks after this. He says, "Is thinking that we let you harm one of us," and then it's to be continued. Issue 3 comes out next month. We get an ad for a Spider-Man watch. Do any of you guys want a Spider-Man watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could use a watch. I would rather prefer a Deadpool or Cap, but all right.
Okay. We also get an ad for the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 cassette tapes.
Yay.
Which I don't really care about, but I like the issue. They go more into depth about what the mutants are dealing with while being illegal in a country that is being stupid right now.
Woohoo.
So I'm excited for the 3rd issue. By the cover alone, I think we might get an idea of who Nemesis is, which if you guys want my idea of who would be Nemesis, it's either gonna be Heather Hudson, aka Vindicator, or it's gonna be Laura Dean, or her name's Pathway. She can make portals and such. That's her mutant ability, by the way. Or it's gonna be someone completely random, and I'm gonna be Shikith. So I'm still hoping out for Marina. I'm still hoping out for Wild Child. Probably not Wild Child. I don't know what's happening right now with him. But definitely I'm hoping for Marina because she's an OG member. if you're gonna have Puck in this, you need to have Marina in this. You know, like just because those two didn't debut in the '79 X-Men comic doesn't mean they aren't OG members. You know, they're OG members. Give me Marina or give me death. Also, give the twins back their pointy ears, please. That's all I ask.
5 issues can only have so many characters in them, which
you can still have Marina. What has she been doing recently? Nothing.
Oh yeah.
Like even a mention of her, and I'll be okay.
Okay. Let that be a task for the writer. Dang it.
Yeah. Ed Brisson, come on. I know you wrote a book with Marina in it before. You can give me Marina now.
But yeah. Any other thoughts?
Give the twins back their pointy ears, and give me a mention of Marina, and I'll be okay. If we get Wild Child, I will lose my mind. Like I said, I will.
Okay.
And now I have to wait another month for this book, but at least I can add Marvel Zombies to my box soon.
Cool.
Anyways, the variant cover, there were 3 variant covers. My favorite was the one with the really pretty Snowbird art. I don't know, they're doing Snowbird justice. I'm waiting for them to give North Star the winter sports variant, because if they can give Spider Boy one, they can give what to him.
Yeah, I wish my comic shop had variants. They only had the standard cover of it. So.
Cry about it. About it.
But alrighty then. With that, and we'll move on to the next.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get some dinner real quick, so I'll still be on the live. I'm just gonna go get dinner.
Cool. All right, guys. Ironic that Witch mentions a Wild Child, because that's who we're going to talk about in the next comic.
Like Kyle, give me Wild
Child. We're talking about the Addams family, the bodies issue. Okay, this is specifically the Addams family that we got recently in the movies. You know, where Wednesday has like a head that looks like a light bulb, this and that. Okay, now originally picking up this book, I'm just thinking to myself, okay, now I don't want Wednesday to be the Batman or the Scorpion of this franchise, because that seems like what she is being now, because everybody's always wanting to make her the star, and of course in this book she is the main focal point of this book. Like, give Pugsley some time, dang it, you know. Uncle Fester deserves his own story arc too, you know.
Focus on the family of the Addams family.
Yes, there you go. But having said that, this book was pretty good. You pretty much have Wednesday in the dilemma of she's done everything she could think of to do to her brother, you know. She's starting to realize, all the stuff I've been using, all the toys, they're hand-me-downs, they're antiques, they're rusted. Like, I just put my brother in the guillotine, and guess what? The guillotine ain't even that sharp anymore, you know? Just bounces off his chubby little neck.
Right.
Yep. So anyway, Wednesday goes looking in the library, trying to get inspiration, and that's when she notices the desk of Uncle Fester, with a whole bunch of magazines and newspapers and comic strips, and a note with a bunch of cutout letters saying, "Walter, I have your dog." And Wednesday's like, "Oh, okay, this is a spot where Uncle Fester writes all his ransom notes." But she's scrolling through all the magazines and stuff he has, and she finds a teen magazine. Now, this is where she gets inspiration, as now she's entering her rebellious phase. And by rebellious, I mean she's giving Cousin It a full perm and braided look. She gave a Thing a manicure, a mani-pedi, and worst of all, Pugsley, you know, she still traps him in I don't know what you call those torture contraptions. It's like a wooden piece of board where your hands and your head are stuck in.
I wouldn't know.
Okay, but you guys know the image I'm referring to. But anyway, she traps him in there and gives Pugsley a makeover. And he's like, "Oh no,
Okay.
I'm adorable!" Like face paint, makeup, and lipstick, and all this. Like, no, this
What have you
begins to.
done?
Yeah, this is the worst. Can't you put me in the bath of eels and piranhas like you used to? Come on, sis, like good old times, you know? But anyway, Morticia, of course, starts getting a little worried. You know, she's growing up. She's entering that phase, like a mature, like any mature, carefree criminal would. And then Gomez is like talking to her, saying like, "I seem to recall hearing you were a real Hellcat during your days." And Morticia's like, "Ah, to be young and sane. Oh, mon chéri, they still sing songs about the carnage you caused during your adolescence. Ah, the folly of girlhood. What was I thinking? A grown woman knows you never leave behind witnesses."
I am back and I am alive, unfortunately.
Yeah, just in time just after we finished talking about Pugsley getting a makeover by Wednesday.
Okay.
Learning new material, you know, because she already did everything she could possibly do to her brother, you know. And this is, you know, really worrying Morticia because, you know, this is her daughter and she's growing up, and you know she wants to still be part of her, right?
Right.
So this is when she decides to have like a talk with Wednesday as they're walking down the cemetery, right?
Hmm.
Let me see if I can find this line. Okay, yeah, she talks to Wednesday as a mother daughter. You know, let me read this line, right? Let's see. Heritage is more than tradition or blood. It's part of who you are. Rejecting that is rejecting a piece of yourself. We've taught you what it means to be an atom, but it's up to you to decide what it means to be a Wednesday. I'm like, oh wow, that's actually really deep parental advice, you know.
Right.
So Morticia eventually brings her to this other tomb, right? And it says, uh, and she says, it's time for you to learn about my side of the family. I'm like, oh, okay, that's something I don't think anybody really thinks about. Like, you know, what sort of history does Morticia's family have? You know,
Right.
so they open up a tomb. They recover like a book that looks like the Darkhold with an eyeball on it, and then she gives this to Wednesday, and that's when she finds old classic new material. So she has Pugsley tied to a guillotine, right?
Yeah, guillotine.
Yeah. And he's like, please don't give me a makeover again. Please. Like, and Wednesday is like, don't worry. There's nothing cute about what's going to happen to you. As she apparently uses the book to open up a portal to a different dimension right above Pugsley. And you have like all these tentacles, these demons, these crickets. Like, holy fuck, what is she unleashing? Like,
Jesus.
and that's how the issue ends. Apparently, this is going to be a series, so we're going to get another issue in October. So be on
Okay.
the lookout for that.
All right.
Okay, okay. I mean, it's off to a promising start. I like the Morticia scene a lot. You know.
Yeah.
Hmm. Although, please do something besides Wednesday for the next Addams Family
Because what's
adaptation.
eventually going to happen is we're going to run out of stories to tell with her, and then she's just not going to be useful at all. So.
Exactly. Exactly. You
No, like
know.
I would like to see more stories about Pugsley or Lurch
Yep.
or
Or the
Thing.
grand. or the grandma. What sort of Hellcat was she back in her day? You know, like.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Gotcha. Anyway, that's how the issue ends, guys.
Yeah, I just want to let y'all know that I'm not using my Leo Fotia figure for my mic holding today. I'm using my little Marvel figure, so he might occasionally talk into the mic.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. With that, let's move on to the next book. Gotham War Part 3.
Well,
Ding.
Dingistan, if you're still
Another
here,
Batman
plug your
book.
ears.
Okay, I'm gonna go cease into the void now.
Gotcha. This issue picks up with how the last issue ends, with Batman coming back to Wayne Manor that recently been purchased by Vandal Savage.
Oh
And
no.
he's like, "How are you in my home?" Sorry, Bruce, this isn't your home, it's mine. I mean, technically, I could be calling the police here and evict you. You're trespassing.
Right.
And Batman's like, what would you want with my home? And Vandal's like, well, I'm a caveman, and it's been years since I've lived in a cave. And what greater cave is there in the world than the Batcave? Now get out of my house. Like, oh.
Batman is probably like, I can make you your own cave. Just get out of mine.
Like the problem is, like right now, apparently Batman he's in a financial situation at the moment.
What else is new?
Hmm. Oh man, you see Batman pretty much kicked out of his own castle. He's in front of the headstones of his mom and dad, pretty much having one last conversation, like saying they took everything. I shared my home with others, shared our wealth with good people, and now it's gone. I don't even have the support of the Bat family anymore. But damn, you really start feeling sorry for Bruce in this, you know?
I really don't. You want to know why?
Why?
One, he has like a bajillion books out right now, so if I don't
Mm.
want to feel somewhat sad, I'll just move on to one of the other 50 million there are. And two, he's a rich capitalist. Why the fuck would I care?
Oh, which you know
He's
there was
not
like
He
this
just
rich
one
keeps
though.
thing.
beating up mentally ill people and putting them
Which
in prison. It's not like it's
Oh, that
helping
is true.
anything.
which like you do realize those mentally ill people have been trying to destroy Gotham and kill civilians
Not
everywhere,
everyone is the
right?
fucking Joker. Some of these other guys are like C-list, D-list heroes
Hold
that are just
on,
trying to
guys.
live.
Hold on, guys. We
Yeah,
already have one Gotham War. All right, let's not start another.
gotcha. But anyway,
Bring back
so
Hazmat. Have Bane
you
bring
have
Bruce's back again.
but anyway, you have Selena who's actually spying on Batman, and she's like, "Look, I'm not going to try making this personal. Let's not tell this to Jason Todd, you know." So anyway, they continue about their business. They're going to set up a new location, a new training location, and here's the new heist that they're going to have. There's a gala going to happen in Gotham, with a bunch of wealthy people, and what they're going to do is they're going to steal their cars. And
Excellent.
who better to help to lead this mission than Jason Todd? You
Yeah,
know.
Jason.
You could have hired me to do it, but whatever. Just
Oh man, and I'm looking at all these people. Okay, if you steal a fancy car from one of them, even if you sell them for 50,000 a piece, that should set you for a while. But I'm assuming you're still going to be robbing places no matter what. So
yes.
okay. Anyway, so Batman goes on his patrol to save the city and this stuff to stop the crimes, all of them. But then that's when he encounters the Riddler, right? But the Riddler was able to leave him some tidbits about what Catwoman's plans are, and of course he tells him in a riddle form. And I'm not going to say this riddle because it's complicated, too complicated for me. All right. So anyway, you go to the gala. You see the rich people coming in their fancy cars and giving the keys to the people at the parking lot, the valet parking, this and that. And of course, Jason Todd's there, and everybody who's working and staff in driving these cars are all part of Catwoman's crew that she trained, So, yeah, all goes well. Like, the plan is they're all going to steal these cars and they're going to bring them to the docks. As soon as those cars enter the boat, that's it. They collect their money and they're good for the day. But this is when Batman comes in, and Jason was more than ready to fight against Batman here. So, but he's going to use this chance to distract Batman with a chase while the rest of his crew continue on with stealing those cars, right? And of course, what's Catwoman doing in all this? Oh, she's part of the gala herself,
Sounds like her. She's great.
Dress, makeup, all that stuff, I'm about to be robbing all these people. Oh, and also, she has a few of her other trainees in suits here dancing with the rich people, and she's also taught them how to steal some of their jewelry because they'll be so upset about their cars being stolen that they won't mind. They won't even notice a necklace or a ring or an earring missing. Like, okay, whatever. So this is where you go to the chase scene. You have Red Hood. He's in his motorcycle. He knows Batman's telling him. He's like, okay, all I gotta do is distract Batman, this and that, and then Batman uses one of his grappling hooks to lock onto Jason and pull him down out of his bike. And I love this little scene, right? Like, crazy man, did something break in your skull? You almost killed me. And I'm like, this is coming from a guy that was about to vaporize Batman literally last issue. Like, you remember that scene where Batman was going to come in and bust up all the criminals, and Jason Todd had like a bunch of machine guns and lasers.
Yeah, because he's an asshole. Yeah,
ready to vaporize Batman, and he knew Batman was about to break through a window, so he had all those weapons targeted at him, only for it to be a drone, So, I don't know what you're thinking, Jason Todd. That's a pot calling the kettle black.
Right. But whatever. Mm-hmm. We've already established the Bat family is kind of terrible in this. So.
Yeah. Okay, so of course they fight. Red Hood takes out his sword and his crowbar. Like, dude, what is it with the crowbar for you, man? Come on.
Bro, Joker hit him one too many times, bro.
I know. Dude, would that be the exact same crowbar? Like, that nearly killed him? Like, he ain't let go of that. Damn, he really didn't let go of the past then. Like,
I think that was in Joker War too, where Joker was like, you're actually my Robin if you think about it. Because, I was the Red Hood, then I became the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Then I me. I'm just so that was kind of Joker's point that Red Hood is just him, basically.
Gotcha. But anyway, so Batman is able to subdue him. He's able to tranquilize Jason. So yeah, Batman now takes Jason to this one. I guess a hideout, right? Jason is just waking up. Catwoman's trying to call him, saying, like, where are you? What's going on? And that's when Batman enters the room, right? He's like, Jason's like, Batman, you did something to me. What did you do? Nothing I'm proud of. As he unbuckles his bat belt. You've had this coming for a long time, Todd. No, I would have liked that I would have liked that to happen. Like you've had this belt whooping for coming for a long time, Todd.
In reality, this is all you really needed since the day you
Yeah.
came back.
Yeah. And look, another use for the utility belt. But nah, like it's really just Batman saying like I did something I'm not proud of, Jason, and that's really the final scene we got of those two. But we cut back to Catwoman, right? She's dancing in the gala, of course, stealing jewelry from the people she's dancing with, and she ends up dancing with none other than Vandal Savage, right?
Because she's an asshole, yes.
Yeah. She's like, "What do you want? What are you doing with Wayne Manor anyway?" And he's like, "Well, it's the finest cave in the world." Yeah, we both know you have something else planned. And she leaves to go try finding Jason, and that's when we find out that one of the teachers at Catwoman's school, one of the people that she broke out from prison, one of her good buddies, who's clearly an innocent soul who did nothing wrong, who never deserved to be in prison to begin with. It's not her fault. Yeah, it turns out she's actually the daughter of Vandal Savage.
Ew.
Who?
It's this girl by the name of, let's see, what's her name? Marquez.
I don't know who that is.
Vandal has to have dozens of children over his lifetime. But anyway,
Like old, like you,
yeah.
Cryptid. You're old.
Anyway, she's a redhead, and she apparently has like shredder-like blades in her arms.
Oh,
So yeah, that's really how the issue ends. I mean, I kind of feel like you have two stories going on at once. You have the whole situation of the Gotham War, where these thieves is it all right for these thieves to be stealing stuff? But at the same time, you have the other plot about Vandal Savage all of a sudden popping up and like, yeah, I want that Batcave. I'm gonna buy it. I feel like both subjects could have had their own story arcs, but hey,
that's
it
fair.
is what it is.
Yeah. But yeah, all right. Ready to wrap
Any
this up
thoughts?
with the last one?
Oh yeah, finally the last one. Our second dose of America.
God.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. The Uncanny Avengers #2. This picks up literally at the end of the last issue as well. After Captain Krakoa twisted and broke Captain America's arm. Right as he was about to deal the death blow to Steve, that's when Black Widow snipes him in the chest. Apparently, Steve at the last minute decided to call in Black Widow to help with the Unity Squad. And yeah, for the most part, like they continue to fight between Captain Krakoa's team and the Unity Squad. Quicksilver is taking joy in punching as many Nazis as he can. Unfortunately, he gets gassed and knocked out, and Captain Krakoa manages to escape with the rest of his team. The team being the twins of Von Strucker and of Blob, and I don't know who this mutant is, but yeah, he has one other mutant with him on his team.
Dang, I
So,
feel bad for Blob. He was just trying to vibe. And now he's being manipulated by this fake Scott. It's like we already have to deal with Scott's BS. Like, why do we have to deal with this mofo?
I know, right? But anyway, so you have Cap, Deadpool, and the rest of the team. They're kind of like recuperating after the fight, and they end up going back to their home base, right in the Ellis Islands. Even though Steve, his arm is going to heal, but it'll take some time. Hey, super soldier serum for you. But in the meantime, they have to attach a Winter Soldier prosthetic around his arm. So, okay, whatever. Steve has a metal exoskeleton arm for the time being, and that's when Rogue pops up. And she's like saying, "Look, Cap, we appreciate everything you're doing for us, for the team, for Mankind, but we're starting to think it's not a good idea if you're in charge of this team, because if something were to happen to Captain America, in a mutant involving matter, then that's going to look bad on us. Like mutants are
Take
going
those
to be
precautions. Nothing against you, Steve, but just take
yeah,
those precautions.
like we don't want the guilt of mutants being responsible for the death of Captain America. So, but then Steve was like, I've heard those sorts of arguments before when governments will be afraid to send me to like Europe or something like that, or working with the French resistance and this and that. But, but hey, I do what I do because it's the right thing to do. And then you have Deadpool, of course, backing him up every way of this. Like, hey, Cap, he's the A team. He's the one you want to bet on in these sorts of involvements. So good on Deadpool for sticking up the Cap. But anyway, you go back to Captain Krakoa's squad. They have like a home base in an old abandoned military base, right? Kind of looking their runes, having their meal, consulting on their next course of action. And the sister of the twins, Andrea, she's going to take a shower, right? And that's when Captain Krakoa decides, you know what? I want some pussy. Oh God,
Wait, did Steve? Who said that?
Captain Krakoa.
Oh, I was about to say if Steve would have said that, that would have been kind of out of character.
we
Scott
don't
said
we
that?
don't know who Captain Krakoa is. We don't know, guys. Remember, like
Isn't
the
Scott like still going through it at the moment in one of the other X books?
he may be, but like this, but he could not be Captain Krakoa because in the Free Comic Book Day issue, we have somebody break into Krakoa and
Yeah,
steal the
and
suit,
Scott
and
fought the guy, and he got hurled off
got
a cliff or whatever the fuck. So
yep,
it
he
can't be
got
Scott. It's got to be someone else. Didn't they
yeah.
reveal who it was in the last issue?
No, in the last issue, everybody's speculating that this is Hydra Cap,
Which is
but
very plausible. Yes.
it's possible. But at the same time, I'm like looking at his speech patterns and his actions, and I'm like, this doesn't sound like Hydra Cap. Well, I mean,
Who's your theory? Who's your theory of who it could be?
for me, it sounds more like what's his name, William Burnside, the fifth Captain America, the one who went insane and became all about America purists and that stuff. Because
Okay.
I'm looking at his line right here, like after he was about right before he was about to kill Captain America, he's like, America could be a great country
Oh
if its
God.
if its leaders weren't weak-minded fools
Come
intent on
on.
giving away our inheritance to trespassers. And
Oh, this
like,
guy's a bigot.
if it's William Burnside, I just want audiences to know, like, he went crazy because of two things. One, it was because of the super soldier serum ended up screwing his mind. He got a failed version of that. And two, his mind got fucked over by Dr. Faustus, whose whole shit is he's a psychologist that can control minds and yeah, basically make you do horrible shit. So okay. But anyway, whoever this Captain Krakoa is, he goes in the shower, he takes off all the armor, and Andrea, looks back and she's like saying, "You didn't seem like the type to fraternize with your troops, Air Captain." And she looks back and she's like, "Oh, it's you." And then that's when Captain Krakoa just like says, "Yes, it's me." As he embraces her and she's saying, "And if you utter my name to anyone, even the others in our squad, then my next embrace won't be so gentle." As the two of them have sex in the bathroom.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
in the shower.
Okay.
Yeah. And like keep in mind, like her brother is like literally right out. He's sleeping right outside the entrance of the shower, right? And his eyes are open, and he's listening to all that stuff
I feel so
happening.
bad.
Like, oh,
Yo, it could be a king. It could be a king. Let him go.
I guess. But then you go back to, Captain America, right? He's talking to Ben Urich about leads, this and that, and that's pretty much how the issue ends. But you do see, like, in that school Kamala Khan's going to, I forgot what it was, but it's sponsored by Orcus. You see some weaponry being constructed underneath, so odds are the next issue, yeah, we're going to the university. But yeah, that's how the issue ends.
Okay.
I still don't think it's going to be Hydra Cap, but if it is, this is a different this is a different version of Hydra Cap than we've seen before. I'm like, he's a changed person. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And wow, yeah,
We got through all the topics already?
yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it. I told you guys we were gonna finish early.
Yeah, not
No.
like last week where we had like a whole other hour. We're at
No.
least at the 2 hour mark.
Yep. I mean,
Actually,
technically
we're
we were.
almost at the 2 hour mark right now.
I know, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
I mean, technically we were going to have another lengthy talk with the Spider-Man comic this week, but we have to hold that off until Thursday for when Austin comes back.
Well, we
Yeah,
can
I
blame
do
Austin.
work, just to let you know, I do work that night.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to do the socials. Not the socials.
Okay.
You have to do the socials.
Which
Will do.
replug in the social. Wait, before you do. Comic-Con, the Dingus Den. If you guys go back and watch the rest of this episode, thank you for showing up. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we
there you go.
appreciate you coming in.
Yeah,
Good
leave
to
a
have you.
comment on what was your favorite topic to discuss. There you
Mm-hmm.
go. Okay.
And also
us-
answer the question, is Cryptid a hater?
Yes.
Give a
Answer that
thumbs
if yes.
up and gives a thumbs up for America.
Also, share it to your friends, your family, your pets, especially your fish. You know the rules. You go from Marina. Anyways, I'm not plugging the socials now. Again.
Yeah.
Okay, you can follow us here, obviously. You can also follow us on Twitter at ComicFanatic69. We do post things on there occasionally. You can also follow the Instagram at Comic Fanatic 2.0. Every time there's a new live stream that I know I'm doing socials for, I would always post it in the stories. Yeah. You guys have to learn how to do stories, by the way. Regardless.
Ooh.
You can follow me on Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U. I don't plan on changing that. Leave me alone. You can follow me on Instagram and also TikTok at witch_of_Jotunheim. Don't try to find these two nerds unless you actually stalk them and find where they live. That's kind of creepy. Don't do that. I think that's illegal. If you want to find Austin, look for the nearest brick wall that has the Comic Fanatic logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's everything. So, bye.
Right.
Well, boy, go read Alpha Boy because I said so.
Go talk about America.